Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at Clarence Park, where the Saints have staged another late comeback, another late goal and another victory. 4 straight wins, Ian. It didn't look like that at half time. We were a goal down and we were struggling, but talk about turning the tables, we did it in style.
Yeah, I mean, we just make life very hard for ourselves, David, as I said before. We speak to the players about not giving other teams a start, and within a minute, for some reason, Dean's trying to force the ball onto Tom Bender. We give it away, they get a free kick, put it in the box, and I don't know if Josh meant to score it. I thought it was more of a lucky chip to the back post, and it's ended up going in off the back post. So it was 1-0 down after a minute, and as I say, it's really put us back on our heels. And though we had lots of possession, we never really hurt them, and it was just side to side, and they were happy to get everyone behind the ball, and Dean's had to make another good save just before half time to keep us in the game. So a lot of it our own fault. A lot of it we're starting the games a bit sloppy and a bit slow and doing things in the wrong areas at the wrong times, and we spoke at length again at half time about things we have to do, and it's frustrating at times because we're sort of banging our heads against a brick wall. But as I said before, we are quite a young side, and they've got to take information on board and be a little bit more professional in what we're trying to get across to them, especially in some of these games because there's small margins now, and we made life very, very difficult for us. But as I said, the longer the game went on, I felt we started to dominate, and I felt we started to push them back further and further, and then we started to get the midfield players playing in a different area and starting to put balls into different parts of the pitch. And then as I say, we got a fantastic first goal from Merce, and then even then the second goal was even better. Probably the move and the ball from Kieran and the finish from Sam. I was right behind it. It was right under his feet, and it was fantastic to get his foot out and even get a shot in. It was a fantastic finish, and in the end I felt we probably nicked it. In the end we had more chances, and then going into the last 15-20 minutes, our Zane's put one over the bar from sort of was it 6 inches out. So we started to create, we hit the post, and I think in the end we probably, the fitness come through, and I felt we got stronger as the game went on, and we got fitter as the game went on, and we probably finished the game much stronger than they did.
A few weeks ago, Sam Merson grabbed all the headlines with 6 goals in 2 games. He then went 6 games without a goal. But you say, they were 2 quality finishes, particularly that second one. And if you're a striker, that's what it's all about. Not so much linking up, it's putting the ball in the back of the net. Yeah,
and the thing is with Sam, he is very much a player like that at times. When he's hot, he's very, very hot. And when he goes cold, we have to probably just move him around and drop him out. But he'd gone down with a virus again. He'd gone down with a chest infection, which sort of laid him low for sort of 2 weeks. He missed a couple of training sessions, missed a game. So it was just really trying to bring him back as quickly as we could. And it was the right decision to play him today, even though in the first half we didn't get a lot out of him. It was really tough because everything we were too far away from him. But in the second half we got a lot closer to him. We put different balls in. We put balls in from good angles where Sam becomes a pest and he can cause teams problems. If everything's in front of the other team, they're quite comfortable. As soon as we put balls in from wider areas, then Sam's looking to get across defenders, which is what he's done. And fortunate enough, he's got both our goals today.
In all of these 4 games that we've won on the spin now, we could have been out of it by half time in every single one of them, really.
Yeah, I mean, quite easily, yeah. But the one thing with these boys, they don't give up, and I've said it, I keep on about how young we are, and got a fantastic energy about them, and they're as fit as anyone we've probably worked with in terms of lasting 90 minutes. And I think you've seen it again today. Every single game we go into that last 20 minutes, we believe if we're in a game with 20 minutes to go, we've got a chance of getting something out of it. And I think all 4 games have shown that. And credit to the players because they've trained hard. We trained hard. The game was called off on Saturday, and at 10:30 and at 12 o'clock we're training for an hour and a half on the university, and they've worked extremely hard. So there's a great commitment from this lot. As I've said, we've pushed them and pushed them and pushed them. It's just some of the information they've got to take on board now, and it's slightly different information probably what they've been taught over the years, because as I've said before, academy football, it's all about passing it, and don't worry if you give the ball away. Well, it's precious if you give the ball away at this stage of the season, because we get hurt by the opposition and it can cost us points. So now we've got to learn not to give the ball away, especially in certain areas. And when we do give it away, we've got to win it back as quickly as we can. And there is a pressure that if you give the ball away, it could cost you a goal. Where in academy football, you give the ball away and no one's really bothered because you start again. So they're all the things that these boys have to learn, get it out of their systems, and learn how to win football matches. And they're doing it, but we're having to do it the hard way at the moment.
Today's game was always going to be a tough one. Would it have been even tougher had Saturday's game with Gloucester been on? And bearing in mind it would have been very heavy conditions down there. In a way, are you happier having that game called off and putting it back to a possibly drier day in April?
It probably helps us in terms of that David Noble was available today. It probably helped us that Jamie was available today. And it's probably helped us in terms of 1 or 2 other players that that probably might struggle to play 2 games in 3 days. But again, as I've said before, I think we're quite a fit side. I think in the past, apart from the Hungerford game, we've enjoyed actually playing Saturday, Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, because I think these boys just want to play football and their fitness levels. As we see at Concord on a very difficult pitch, 72 hours later we're winning at Western. So I don't think that makes much difference. It's just how we plan and how we prepare with people like David Noble. Ben Hurd's not so much because of his fitness levels are a very high standard. But David, you know, as we've said, he labours all day long. He's lifting wheelbarrows for fun, and you know, at 36, it's tough on his legs, and it showed today. You know, he got better as the game went on. I felt first half he played a little bit too deep, but once we started to put balls into dangerous areas in their box, you know, he started to dominate the game and he started to tick us over. And we started to get our wingers into the game, and if you look at it in the first half, our wingers didn't get in the game at all. So, yeah, I mean, that's football. So we've got 6 games, and it is going to be Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Monday, Saturday, Tuesday for the rest of the season. So, but I'm quite comfortable because we've got a good squad. You know, as I said before, you know, we can rest players and bring players in. It's important that, you know, we've managed to get Tariq back now to the level of fitness that we need him at, because he was struggling going after the Hungerford game. But Jamie's coming, and Jamie might struggle to play 2 games in 3 days. When we can leave him out and put Tariq in there. We've got Tom Bender that can play in there, and we've got obviously Percy can play in there, and we've got Harold out on loan at Wingate. So loads of options going into these next sort of 3.5 weeks and the next 6 games.
This run has put us in a terrific position. We're still in 4th place in the table, and 2 of our final 6 games against top sides in the top 3. But it's playoff place. It's in our hands.
It's in our hands, but as I said, you know, at the end of the day, and we spoke about it there, you know, we take each game as it comes. You know, I've not put these boys under pressure. Yeah, it'd be great if we got in there at the end of the season. It'd be great for the club. It'd be great for these players, and obviously it'd be great for myself to turn this around in just over 2 years. So, but as I said before, with these players, they're young. They will learn. I think they'll get better as the years go on. Will we keep them all in the summer? They're all the things that we have to sit and discuss at the end of the season. But first and foremost, let's take, you know, Saturday against Whitehall, which is going to be a tough game. They're fighting for their lives, and Steve's put a good side together there. So again, if we don't approach it right, we'll be on the end of a very tough game. Which again, you know, it's getting a bit tough now having to keep chase games as we go into the last 20 minutes. But full credit to the players today. You know, they've stuck at it. When things weren't going well, they kept going, and in the end, they got their just rewards.
Another crowd of 800, it's not a bad turnout on a wet day.
No, and they were brilliant today. You know, I was very critical after the Hungerford game. I felt that, you know, they came for us a little bit that day, and I spoke to the players afterwards about, you know, we've got to make sure we get this crowd behind us. And today they were brilliant because we needed them today. We were struggling out there as a team, and as I said all along, when we're struggling, we need that crowd on us, because they are like a 12th man for us. And today they were fantastic, and they get their rewards in the end because they see a performance from the players that reaches a level that they want to go and win games of football. But when we were struggling second half, we needed them to get behind that goal, which they did, and which is fantastic. And we need that now for the next 6 games, home and away. We need as many supporters as we can get. There's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, there's going to be some poor performances, and there's going to be some defeats. But most of all is, once we have them defeats, we have to stick together and take the next game as it comes, because looking at it, we probably need another 3 wins, and we've got 6 games to go and do that. So the quicker we do it, the better. But we've got a tough run into, we've said all along, you know, the next 6 games are tough, and then we finish with Havant, Hampton and Bath, which is not going to be easy because Bath have gone and beat Gloucester 5 today. The
weather's had quite a say in games over the weekend, with so many of them called off due to waterlogged pitches. You look at Clarence Park and you wonder why other teams are having a problem, not a puddle on it.
Well, no, I mean, we spoke at the beginning of the season because I felt they left the grass a little bit long for some of the first games, but you can see the reason why, because it's protected the pitch now at this stage of the season. And I think we had an under-18 game on here on Thursday of last week, so probably wouldn't have done it any good, but unfortunately that was a commitment made at the beginning of the season. But you can see the pitch was fantastic, and when you walk on it, you wouldn't believe how much rain we've had over the last sort of 96 hours, because that was as good as you probably get at the beginning of the season. It's cut up in little areas, but that'll be repaired and we can go again on Saturday. But as you said, the amount of rain we've had overnight, the amount of games that have been called off today, that played absolutely fantastic. There's no excuses if you can't go and play football on that.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian, and congratulations on another excellent result.
Thank you very much.
So the Saints back here on Saturday when Whitehawk are the visitors. The National League South kick-off at Clarence Park is at 3 p.m. when the Saints are going for a 5th successive league victory, following on from today's 2-1 win over Braintree Town.